So this is the very first question, which is question 2 part B. You must read what the question says, because at times the students miss the first part and they are not familiar with the area. So what does it say? It talks about the climate of Gilgit, and what you see here, there's a line with small dots on it, and then we have bars. Please be very careful. Temperature is always shown with the help of line, and the bar always shows rainfall. And you can see there are months underneath, and you should also see that we have temperatures and rainfall given here. Uh, Rainfall is in terms of millimeter and temperature is in terms of uh, degree Celsius. So let's see what the questions are. The very first question: what is the maximum temperature? In which month does it occur? I suggest you should use a ruler or scale to measure properly if you cannot count the boxes. So question is maximum temperature and in which month does it occur? So this shows temperature. You have to see where the line goes at the highest place. I guess this is it. So you're going to find out which month is it, and you are going to write how much was the temperature recorded during this month. Please remember, if you forget to write the unit with it, that is degree Celsius, you wouldn't be given any marks for that. Then we have second question: in which season of the year is the rainfall highest? Okay, so let's have a look at bar graph here. What you can see here, it's this month which has the highest amount of rainfall. And what you're going to do here, you're going to write the season, not the month. And be very careful, this is not summer, so you cannot write summer season. You should look for the exact season where when this occurs. Then we have third question: compare the climate of the months from May to September with months from November to February. Now, when there is this compare, you have to compare two things. It means you must answer side by side. Let's say you're going to compare May to September from November to February. Let's have a look at it. May to September and November to February. So when they say climate, they are talking about both temperature and rainfall. May to September and November to February. You will compare that how much is the rainfall in the first group of months, whereas in the second group of months the rainfall is this much. Please give exact figure. Then if you are going to talk about temperature, you talk about first group of months, and then in the same sentence or in the next sentence you talk about the temperature range with exact figure for the next group of months. In the same way, you're going to compare what patterns do you see generally, if the temperature is increasing or decreasing, or if there is higher amount of rainfall in first one group of months than the other group of months. If there is any similarity, then you should also consider the similarity here. Alright, let's have a next question. Have a look at the next question, which is C. In what ways does winter climate make life difficult for people living in the mountainous areas? Now, be very careful. Students are often confused about climate and topography, although they are linked with each other, but these are two different terms. The topography does affect climate, but we are not talking about it here. What we are talking about, what you'll be answering, that why or how the winter climate makes their life difficult in the mountainous areas. So I'll give you hint about how you can write a few things only. Rest you are supposed to do yourself, because we are done with same sort of questions in the chapter topography. So you'll be talking about let's say, climate. We know about the mountainous areas, that snowfall occurs there. Okay, so when the snowfall occurs, how it limits their activity or economic activity. You've just seen an episode in Murray recently, and you know how they can be cut off from the rest of the areas. Then you can talk about water shortage, because obviously when it would be frozen, they are going to face water shortages, plus their outside life might be retarded. Then you can talk about the the uh, mishaps which occur, or maybe calamities which happen here. And you can talk about their limited travel, both from land and from air. And you can talk about the opportunities which they otherwise have, which would be reduced during a specific season. And please do not always refer everything to winter climate. I've already discussed with you that during summers as well, when there's heavy rainfall, they face problems of flooding, landslides, because the soil gets saturated and there are more chances of landslides. And you can also talk about the amount of sunlight they receive and how it affects them, and if it the climate affects the supply of necessities and rest of it. So make sure you give appropriate answer, not simple statements, because again the question is asking you how asking you in what ways the winter climate makes the life difficult for people who live in this area. Just don't give simple statements. This is a 6 marker question, so I'm looking for some developed answers which make sense. Next part here, what is the meaning of the following terms in livestock farming? First is transhumans. Please write proper definition. Uh, what do they do? Why do they move? Please remember, this is seasonal movement. Then nomadic farming, which is again we have referred to in one of the previous chapters. Again, the next question is, uh, what are the advantages and disadvantages of these type of livestock farming in either mountains or desert areas? Please be very careful while answering this. They are asking you to give advantages and disadvantages of both livestock farmings that they have asked you above, transhumance and nomadic herding, in the mountains or the desert area. So your answer must be talking about this. Advantages, let's talk about desert areas. uh, they do not have a lot of cultivation taking place there. Same is about the mountains. So just think, they don't have to grow fodder, they don't have to indulge themselves in the process of cultivation to grow fodder, and still the animal can graze on the pasture, whatever the natural vegetation is available there, which is a plus point. So it can be considered as an advantage. Other than this, obviously their cost would be reduced if they are going to do it. Then again, they don't have to have a perennial source of water. They can rely on whatever water sources are available in the nature, and whatever waste the animals release, uh, this is going to cause increase the fertility in the soil. Obviously it acts as a fertilizer, the animal feces. And other than that, we can talk about uh, the smaller animals, such as goats, which can nibble on the smallest stature vegetation or the grasses. So these are all the plus points. You can talk about others as well, uh, but again, do not give simple statements. You should give a proper answer. Disadvantages, again, if you remember overgrazing, we referred to in Balochistan, in the deserted areas, when extensively animal uh, feed on the grasses and natural vegetation doesn't give it enough time to replenish, regenerate. Then we have obviously they are on the go. They cannot settle properly in one place, and they cannot have all the facilities that you and I are enjoying. Then uh, there are instances when they run out of water, obviously, because in the deserted climates they wouldn't be able to find a lot of water resources, and they are supposed to keep on moving, and it's sort of uncertainty in their lives. There might be some other points that you need to discuss here. Just let me have a look. Okay. All right. I think that's enough. If you come up with other points, I would still appreciate it, as long as you are uh, giving a properly developed answer rather than just giving statements. So make sure you are done with your work by Monday, or if you don't have your period on Monday, maybe then Tuesday. So all the best. Happy weekend.